Hi everyone, hope you all had a good weekend. So today's job, early in the week, we are going to be moving this pile of meal that was tipped here this morning. We're going to try and get into the shed here. We have a space cleared for it. We're going to try maybe and put, if we can, we'll try and put the 3650 into the shed next door. Maybe start to do a few jobs on that. Have to clear space on it first, so I'll take it along as we're doing that. But firstly, we'll get this done. I have spent a little bit of time there just before I started recording. I've cleared an area here for this meal to go into. We had a little bit of barley here. You can see there's a mark on the wall where it come across, and then it kind of dropped down at an angle. But we've been using away at this meal over the last number of weeks, so the amount has went down a little bit, but there was still some there. So what I done was I just kind of knocked it to the ground, scooped some of it up, put it up on the pile that's here, put some more down in the other side of the wall, and hopefully it should just about hold what we have to put in. There's about 20, I think it's around 28 tonne that has to go in, so there's a good bit of meal to go in. Yeah, going to put the drone up. We'll try it and see. It's raining a little bit, but should be able to handle it. So we'll get the drone up, take a bit of footage as we go in and out, maybe set the camera up on the teleporter in a few different places, get a bit of footage of that. So yeah, we're ready to go. Bucket is on, and yeah, let's get cracking at it, get this in. Okay, so that is a bit tidier than it was. Everything is in, yard cleaned down, yard washed down, and yeah, feed is in. Probably had enough room for about another half load really, truth being known now that we have this load in. But yeah, that'll do for now. This stuff is it's a byproduct from biomaking. So you can see it there, it's quite fine, not a whole pile of feed value in it. It's mostly just a filler. Our power comes from the maize meal, which you see there, centre the shot, and also then our barley. And then depending on the year, we'd usually have some wheat. We haven't got any wheat this year, it was all barley this year. But yeah, wheat. And then we also feed a root crop, potatoes or beet, one or the other. So yeah, great to have it in. And that should do us probably now for about, I'd say, a month or so, 6 weeks. And we'll take another load of it then, and then that'll do us right up away the far side of Christmas. Okay, so what we'll do is now, 3650 has been parked over here in the shed. We're going to put it into the main shed here where we're going to do some of the work on it. So we're going to move it over and we're going to have a walk around it and kind of just see what exactly has to be done on it. We're having now over a week. I've a good idea now of everything that needs done to it. So we'll have a quick walk around it and yeah, see where we're going.
I just realized I've built walls a mile high to protect my heart, but now I'm all alone, stuck on the inside. The heart doesn't need a castle, it needs a bridge. Been too scared that I'd unravel. Brick by brick, I built these walls. Now I know that I am strong. Just watch me tear them down. I'm gonna tear them down. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? Just watch me march towards the battle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? I criticized myself for trusting lies. I know I can't hide, 'cause then I'd be...
Okay, so 3650 is in and in the restoration bay, we'll call it, or work bay, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, just kind of pulling it in now, just get started on some of the bits and pieces that needs done to it. Yeah, well, probably in the next day or two I'll take the interior out of it and start just to get cleared up on it and see exactly what all pieces I need. I know I need most of the interior from the windows down, we'll say. And I need 2 pillar pieces as well. So yeah, price all those up. They'll be quite expensive. They'll set me back a little bit, but I'll get looking at those, see exactly what I need on that front. What other work has to be done to it apart from cosmetic? We'll start with mechanically what we're going to do to it. Engine, it doesn't seem to have, there's no real issues with the engine. It got a hell of a workout when I went for the maize last week. Over 2 hours of a round trip. Coming home, it was on full tilt, pulling home 12 tonne of maize meal. Didn't take a tap out of you. You could touch, when you come home, you could put your hand on the manifold and it wouldn't burn you. So the engine was hardly even warmed up in it, which I was very impressed with. These engines are Honda powered. The later ones here are tuned to 116 horsepower, and quite frankly I'd say you could turn them up to 125, 130 without any issue. And we might even turn it up slightly just to give it a bit more power, even maybe to 125. We'll see. We'll just see how it works out. But yeah, engine is 100% on it. We just checked the oil a few times on it. Oil is clean, so like it was being serviced. Some other things maybe that were neglected a little bit with the tractor, but it looks to have been getting its oil service when it was needed. You can see the staining here. I think I did mention in a previous video that there was a little bit of a diesel leak on it, but we just tightened the nut here going into the top of the pump, and it seems to have stopped it. Now there is a small leak on the top of the hydraulic pump, which is located in behind the diesel tank, and it's going to need tightened, or it's on a union. It might even be, it could be leaking just at the union. It's not sealing properly, so we're going to open it and just see what the issue is. I think there is a little steel washer on it that's supposed to clamp up and tighten to make it seal, but maybe the washer's damaged, or it's not sealing anyway. So we're going to check that out and just see what it is. But all up the side of the tractor, there's not really much in the lines of mechanical stuff. The engine sensor that reads your engine revs, we'll have to just check it. It's not sending the power back up to the digital display, so we're not just getting the engine. We're not getting the engine speed on it there at the minute. So probably it needs changed on it. So it's not the end of the world. The steering rod here, there is the rubber is damaged here out on the end of it near the wheel. So we're going to have to just address that as well. But that's really all that has to be done up this side. The brakes, I mentioned that we're going to have a look at them and see, and we're going to do that. We're going to take split the two half axles and check the brakes in it, because these tractors, once they get around 7,000 or 8,000 hours, the brakes goes on them, and if they go and get in up through the tractor, it's not like the new ones. It causes big issues. It's a huge issue just to try and get all the brakes back out of the tractor, so we don't want that happening. So depends. This tractor maybe was in field work all its life. They maybe didn't do much road work or pulling. Maybe the brakes is like new on it. So, but we're going to open it and see, because when we're using the tractor next springtime, we don't want to have any issues with it. Also, around the 8,000 hour mark, the high-low seals usually goes in them. So we've contemplated maybe whether we should open it and do the seals, and I think we're going to take the cab of it and check them, because again, when we start to do work with it next year, we don't want to be out mowing grass and 2 hours into mowing for a light to come on the dash and there to be an issue. So we're going to pull the cab off it at this point, and check the seat, check the high-low, check the PTO clutch when we're in there. It's all in there together. So we had to do them a number of years ago on the 2850. So it's not that big of a job. We'll do it again, and it'll just mean everything will be okay. The last thing we want, as I say, is everything be finished, all the cosmetics and painting to be all finished, and next thing you have an issue with a light on and have to start to do that work then, because it's bad enough having to do it at this point without having to do it later on as well, when everything's finished. So so it looks like that's what we're going to do when we have it in here. Cosmetically, or other bits and pieces that needs replaced, you see the button is missing here on the door, so we have to pick up a button first, where the key is done, where the key goes into it for locking it. It actually fell out of the Air 2850 one time as well, so it's just something that happens. Yeah, the door here, there's a little spring here in the door, and when you open the door around, it clicks into position and holds the door open. So you see that's not doing that because the spring is broke. We've actually picked up one of those springs, so we'll maybe get that fitted in the next day or so, and that'll be that end of it sorted. As I say, full interior from the windows down, it needs to be got. A few other wee bits and pieces. The likes of, bring it up there, the likes around the ashtray here. There's a little crack in it, so we'll try and pick up an ashtray for it, or even the surround that goes at the back. This here also is broken, this here at the bottom, so it's just clicking out. So we'll address that and see if we can do something with it, get it fixed up. There's not really that much else inside in the tractor that needs done, other than the interior and those couple of bits. A couple of stickers here. We'll get a new sticker here showing the gears, and a new sticker here for moving to high-low. There's a little small sticker, just, you can see it there, it's all worn and just missing, but yeah, other than that, that's probably about it on the inside. I think the other things around the cab, the wrong mirror arm and mirrors on this, so we're going to have to pick up one of those. We need a flashing beacon for the roof. Registration plate, where it goes, we're missing the little plastic square, so we're going to have to pick one of those up. And then we need to put a pickup hitch on it. Now, what pickup hitch are we going to put on it? Well, that's something we've been talking about. 50 series pickup hitch isn't easy to come by, especially one that isn't wore out and needs a lot of money spent on it. So we may put a new style pickup hitch on it. One off, like say a 630 or 620 or you know, that style with push out pickup hitch. It's not original to the tractor, but they were a much better hitch. There's a little bit of fabrication needed to change them over and just to make them fit and suit, but nothing that we wouldn't be capable of sorting out. As I say, they were better pickup hitch. They don't give any trouble really. They don't wear very little. You see them in scrap yards. There's stacks of them there, and you can usually pick them up for a couple of £100. You know, they're just not expensive. So I would say we'll probably put a new style pickup hitch on it, and that'll sort that out, and you'll have it. They're stronger as well. So yeah, we'll go with that. What else do we need before we start talking about just what we're going to paint on it? Let's try and think, is there anything else? I think I have it pretty much well covered. Oh, I've ordered a set of the little plastics that go here along the side, so I'm hoping that they'll come in. Now in the next few days. We have them on the 2850. Just a little extension piece that you could get from them. Will come out maybe a couple of inches. Yeah, mudguard here has to be straightened. Some pushed again at some point and bent it in, but it's just twisted it slightly, so it needs to pull down here and then it needs to be pushed up on this side here, but we'll get that sorted fairly easily on it. Yeah, painting wise then, we're not painting the whole tractor. What we're going to do is we're going to paint the roof. There's a couple of small damages on the roof too. You might notice them maybe when I was pulling out of the other shed with the drone footage. So there's a little bit of plastic welding to be done with those. Sand them down and we'll paint the roof. We're going to paint the two mudguards. We'll also paint the bonnet, and we will paint this front part here right down to, just basically down to where the weight carrier is. That's it. The rest of the tractor then, what we do is we just polish it up and buff it. The paintwork is fairly good on the rest of the tractor, so we're not going to go mad on it. We paint the step as well, and the toolbox. This step here, it's all stone chipped and the paint is off in a few places, and just this little square here on the door. But that's really all we're going to be painting on it. And as I say, the toolbox as well, we'll give it a good clean down and we'll paint it. It's the original style toolbox. The new ones now have just a plastic handle on them. The older 50 series toolbox, it was a steel handle on them, so it's nice to have the original one of those. We have the original one on the 2850 as well, so yeah, it's nice to have those. Bonnet, a couple of wee damages on the bonnet. You can see just there where there's something has moved slightly. You can see that moves. It's like there's a bolt loose. We haven't just investigated it yet, so we'll have to sort that out to stop it from moving. And when we stop it from moving, then it'll allow us then to, when we fix this, a couple of wee damages around it, shouldn't do it again. What else do we need? Oh, there's a little seal here that goes around the diesel tank where the bonnet sits, or the neck of the diesel tank. So we're getting a new seal for that. See, it's all perished. Get one of those. I actually priced it last night. They're not expensive from John Deere. They're only, I think they're about £8. And then you can get new rubbers here for the top of the screens. They're just all perished, and just with time they've just went a wee bit soft. So I'll probably replace those as well. So, but that's probably really about the height of it. It'll keep us busy over the winter if nothing else. Yeah, I think that's really it. One of the wipers, I think too, has a little bit of a, it's not just sitting properly. which one is, I think it's this one here. It needs to be just straightened around slightly, which isn't a big issue, so that has to be done on it as well. But as I say, not that much, there's not that much wrong, just a few bits and pieces. The biggest end of it will be taking the cab off and just checking the high-low on it and getting that end of it sorted, make sure everything's okay with it, and checking the brakes. If all that was done, the rest of it's only a few weeks work, you know, getting the rest of it sorted. So yeah, as I say, it'll keep us busy. So I think this video is long enough now at this stage. Hope you enjoyed it. It just takes you right up to date with what we're doing with the 3650. And as soon as I start to do some of the work on it, I'll record it. I'm going to record it step by step as we do it. Hopefully it'll make some nice content and you'll enjoy seeing the work being done. So yeah, that's it. Don't forget, if you're not already a subscriber, to hit the sub button, to leave a like on the video, comment down below, all that kind of good stuff. And we'll see you probably on Friday with the next video, Friday or Saturday. So until then, take care. See you then.